Nice to have the new year in front of us. And it's actually halfway over with our Rotary year. So I think we've got about 6 more months in the Rotary year. So let's see, would someone like to lead us in the pledge to start things off? I'm sure we have a flag prop somewhere that John can put up. Let's see, Diane, would you do the honors?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Diane. So we've got quite a few announcements, mostly start of the year stuff for Rotary business. But I'd like to take a minute to introduce any guests out there. Does anyone have guests with us today? I see we have our program speaker, Eva, and we'll introduce her in a little bit. I see a few other guests out there.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, I would like to introduce our January students of the month. We have Melanie, Hannah, and Marcus Blair.
All right, welcome.
And Marcia here, I would like to introduce my guest, Newport attorney Brian Gardner.
All right, welcome. All right, great. So we have some new blue badges to announce. We're running out of red badges fast. I guess we could use a few more of those. But our new blue badges are Paul Kimberly, Stephanie Lynn, and Raina Matson. So congratulations on the blue badges. And I have those here. I'll get those to you. Also, every once in a while, Rotary sends me the Paul Harris pins for new Paul Harris members. And, it's always interesting to open the envelope and see who it is. But we've got a really neat one this month. So I got a Paul Harris Fellow +5 pin, and the recipient is Bobby Lippman. So most of you who've been here for a while in Rotary know Bobby. She was married to Bert Lippman, who was a longtime Rotarian. But Bobby is an author. She wrote this book. It's called Good Grief, and it's a collection of stories that deal with dealing with loss. A really, really good book. Bobby also worked in the hospice industry for quite a while, so she's got a lot of experience on the subject matter. But 100% of the proceeds from this book go directly or are sent to the Rotary Foundation by Bobby. So that's one of the reasons that she's up to Paul Harris +5, meaning that she's given $6,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And a big chunk of that's coming from proceeds from this book. And she's still earning money from it too. So if you haven't read this book, I think it's available at a lot of the local retailers. Like I think I've seen it at JC Market and a couple of the other stores. It's also on Kindle online for $6.99. So again, 100% of the proceeds go to the Rotary Foundation, and I just wanted to recognize Bobby for that. I called and thanked her and told her it really did a lot for us, and we appreciate it. So she's happy to. She's a big fan of Rotary, so she's going to keep it up. Next thing I have is it's time to vote on our slate of officers for 2021. And the nominating committee has come up with some nominations. So we have some nominees. 2021 President Richard O'Hearn, President-elect Sonia Graham. Actually, John Zagel was VP this year, but he decided he'd like to stay in the tech side of things for a little while longer. And he does such a great job with our Facebook and Zooms and everything else that he'd like to continue that, which is great. So President-elect Sonia Graham, Vice President Diane Nelson, Secretary Jim Graham, and Treasurer Mark Miranda. But we are taking as a procedural, we're taking nominations. If anyone's interested in nominating anyone, just I think the easiest way to facilitate this vote on Zoom, we've never done it before, so it's kind of new territory. But I think the easiest way would be to use the chat box, and you can just chat directly to our secretary, Jim Graham, if you like, or you can chat, to just everybody. But anyway, again, President Richard O'Hearn, President-elect Sonia Graham, Vice President Diane Nelson, Secretary Jim Graham, and Treasurer Mark Miranda. So if everyone would just take a minute to chat and say yay or nay, or list a nominee, that would be great.
Mr. President?
Yes, Jeff?
I would move that the nominations be closed and that a unanimous ballot be cast for the nominated officers.
I like it. That sounds like a more legal way to do it.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we have a first and second. All those in favor, I guess, maybe raise your hand for the nominations. And then, yeah, why don't you just go ahead and chat yay or nay for the slate of officers? And yeah, Guy, did you have something else? Or just a yay?
No.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay.
All right.
Yay.
I think we need a majority, but we have a pretty good turnout today, so that's great. I think it'll work. So just a few things before we get into our Sergeant at Arms. I have a few things from today in history, and I thought it would be a good day to have, some political undertones to this, given the circumstances out there. 1789 today, Americans voted for the electors that would choose George Washington to be the first U.S. president. 1968, the cost of a U.S. first-class stamp was raised to 6 cents. And 1998, former White House intern Monica Lewinsky signed an affidavit denying that she had an affair with President Clinton. So that's some good dirt from 22 years ago. I think that's about all I have, so I'll turn it over to Bob.
Hello there, Rotarians, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Hello, Bob.
How's everybody doing? Anybody make any New Year's resolutions we should know about? Diana, I know you have. Diane?
Hi, Bob. How are you today?
Well, I'm real good. I'm just curious on what your New Year's resolutions are.
Well, my New Year's resolution is to be happy and deal with the world as it is today.
Oh, that's very, very good. Anybody else got a New Year's resolution that they'd like to tell us? Brianna, you look like you've got a New Year's resolution. Brianna? Hello? Can she hear me?
Are you talking about Raina?
Rena, okay, yeah.
Oh, good. It was Raina, not Tiana.
Rena, do you have a New Year's resolution?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Just make it through this school year. That would be a good one.
well, let's get the school year started. Let's get those kids back in school.
Fingers crossed it happens soon.
Yes, I hope so. Tiana, I know that you've got one. Now you're going to start coming to Rotary every week. Is that maybe your new one?
I come every week. I'm just also eating my lunch at the same time and maybe on doing multiple things at the same time.
Oh, multiple things. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
what's most multiple for you? I would think it would be Rotary on a Thursday.
Yeah, I have to eat and I also have to work. And like Raina said, we're trying to get our kids back. So there's all sorts of things to do at the same time.
Yeah, I just can't
It probably
imagine.
cost me $5 to admit that.
Oh, well, all right. I mean, I didn't ask for any money.
Okay, there you go.
Speaking of money, we've got a lot of birthdays going on. John Clark, where are you? I know you're here. Where is John? Nobody ever volunteers to talk to me. There's John. You got to unmute, John, and take your hand away from the key.
I'm trying to unmute it.
John, you got a birthday coming up.
Sure enough.
Let's see. You and I are close to the same age, so that's going to make you
You're
about
much older.
42, 43 years old, someplace in there.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to talk about your birthday?
Oh, how about $75? That's not how old I am, but I like to round out the number.
Okay, well, we'll take that.
Yeah, to the regular Rotary Fund.
Okay, well, thank you
Our
very
regular-
much.
You're welcome.
Guy Faust, where's Guy? There's Guy. Hey, Guy, haven't seen you since the Fiesta Bowl. Boy, what a game that was. Guy, you had a birthday. Unmute, Guy. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can, and I can see you too.
Yeah, I had a birthday. I am 73. And what I've discovered is with age comes wisdom. I feel so much wiser now than I was even a couple days ago. And I'm also feel very optimistic. And it kind of reminds me of this short little story I want to share with you, Bob. It's about these two brothers, and one was a pessimist and one was an optimist, and they were twins. And so on their birthday, and these guys were both way overboard. One was very, very optimistic, one was very, very pessimistic. And so the parents, they decided that they're going to nip it in the bud and teach these guys a lesson. So for the pessimist, they bought a giant freezer and filled it with all the ice cream that this kid just loved. And so he opens it. Well, and for the optimist, they bought a gigantic box and they just filled the entire box with horse shit. And so the pessimist, he opens the refrigerator and he looks at the ice cream and he just gets this dejected face and he's kind of moping around. They said, well, what's the matter? He says, well, this freezer will probably, go bad and the ice cream will melt. And even if it doesn't, if I eat it and I spill it, you guys are going to get mad at me. And so he's all, in a funk and he kind of walks off. And then they look at the optimist and there he is. He's got a big smile on his face and he's just throwing horseshit everywhere. And they're going, what in the world is going on? And he says, well, with all this horseshit everywhere, I know there's a pony at the bottom of this somewhere. And so I am like that optimist, Bob. We've put up with so much horseshit for the last 4 years. I am now an optimist, and by God, I'm looking for a pony.
Well,
So that's
congratulations, Guy.
$73 worth of story.
How much?
Bob.
How much?
73.
Oh, $73.
$73.
Did you know that there is a fellow Rotarian that has a birthday the same day as yours?
Yes, I do. It's your son.
Oh, it is my son. Yeah.
January 4th.
Is he on here?
Yeah.
I know he's hiding. Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
Mr. Wienert.
Yes.
So you had a birthday the same day as Guy. Are you a pessimist or an optimist?
I'm pretty optimistic.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
It's a good birthday. I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. Well, good. I hope you're right. What'd you do for your birthday?
Oh, the usual, went to work, and after work, I got together with some family and friends, and pretty sure there's only 6 of them because that's all we're allowed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we had some dinner,
Uh-huh.
and yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
36. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Yeah. What's that worth to you?
How about $36?
All right. By golly, we'll take it. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wiener.
Absolutely.
And many more happy birthdays to come. I thought
Thank
I
you.
saw
Thank
Signe
you.
Grimstead. Signe, did I see you?
Can you hear me?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm here.
Yeah, you had a birthday also.
I did on the 2nd, so $100 to Paul Harris.
Wow. Don't you want to be a pessimist and an optimist and
I'm an
tell us a
optimist.
story?
Yeah, I'm an optimist, but I'm still under a rock waiting for tax season to be over with. I'm still doing taxes here for January 15th.
Uh-huh. Wow.
But I'm sitting in the sun, so that makes me happy.
Well, that makes me happy that you're in the sun too. Well, good for you. Now there's somebody on this screen that's having a birthday and doesn't seem to really want to step up and lay claim to it. Lola. Lola,
Oh, Big Bob, I was hoping that I could just sneak by.
how are you doing?
You know, I don't know if you can see my sweater. This was a gift from one of my staff.
Oh, that's good. Feeling good. Uh-huh.
Yep.
How's that little baby doing?
He's doing well. He's 8.5 months old. He stands up and pulls himself up on everything and is starting to reach the top of my kitchen table.
Oh, that's fun when you put a tablecloth on there and a bunch of dishes and then they pull that.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
like it. I had a kid that did that too, but he only did it once. So,
I bet he might have turned 36 earlier this week.
well, I can't tell you. Tell me a little bit about, did your son get to go to the Oregon State Oregon game? And
You know, we were celebrating Thanksgiving, so we didn't get to take him to that game. But you know, gosh, I sent your daughter-in-law a photo of him in some pretty cool Oregon State gear. I don't know who got him mixed up with all of that riffraff, but some evidence of your generosity made its way to Amanda's inbox, I think.
we want every kid to get a good start. It sounds to me like he did.
Well, you know, my sister is a Beaver. She played volleyball at Oregon State, and so she was so happy to finally get some Beaver swag in her nephew's wardrobe. And so I think it snuck out of my suitcase and into her hands so that when she has her first child, maybe somebody will appreciate that Letterman's jacket.
Oh, good. Well, so you had a birthday.
I'm having my birthday right now.
Today's your birthday?
35 years old.
Hey, group, let's sing happy birthday to Lola.
Oh,
On
gosh.
3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Lola. Happy birthday to you.
You know, Lola, I'll bet you wouldn't want to hear that again.
You know, I might pay you $35 to never do that again.
Okay.
Just so you don't have to quit your day job, Bob.
Yeah. Hey, have we got any other birthdays? How about some happy bucks? We have any happy bucks out there? Where's Ken Riley? Where is he? There he is. Ken.
Yes,
you
Bob.
must have some happy dollars.
I guess I do. Well, it's anyway. I was voted to be inducted into the Oregon Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. So that's a pretty cool deal. I'm very humbled and honored to be part of that group.
Well, that's not just cool. That's a real deal. That's very good job. Congratulations.
Well, certainly, I think that groups like Rotary and the Booster Club and the the other organizations that I'm a part of is certainly part of the reason that I'm the man I am, and I appreciate that, because the thing I've learned with sports and in the baseball community particularly is that most people that you deal with don't drive you to be better coaches. They drive you to be better men and better people. And I think this is a perfect example of that.
Well, congratulations. You've got to be proud.
I am. Thank you.
How proud?
I'll be $100 proud to my Paul Harris.
Well, thank you very much. That is proud. That's good. Well, and good job. Couldn't have gone to anyone better. I thought I saw Ursula. Oh, there's Ursula. Ursula, how are you? You haven't been around for a while.
I have not. That's true.
Well, we've missed you.
Thank you. I've missed all of you too. I'm really glad to be back. I had to take on the role of interim foundation director up at North Lincoln because their director left. And so I'm doing 2 jobs. Plus, I think most of you know my father passed away in November. So I went to Georgia to deal with some things there. So, and then there were the holidays. So I am hopefully back and we'll be here for a while. So I will say I am happy. I know everybody has different political views, but I am happy that some things were finally settled and hopefully we can all move on together as a country. So I am $25 happy for that.
Well, thank you very much. And you know what? I think all of us go along with you on that. It's been a rough one, but where's the judge? Marcia, where are you? I know you're on there someplace. Marcia.
I'm here, Bob. What's up?
Okay. Oh, there you are. Yeah. I see you in the paper getting sworn in.
I get sworn at a lot too. It's okay, Bob. You can say that.
Well, congratulations to you.
I'm $100 happy that event happened.
Well, I am happy too. Well, good for you. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. And I thought I saw Bo Smith there someplace. Bo, were you here today?
He just put in the chat that he had to leave, Bob.
Oh. Well, you guys just remember, Bo has never said anything about his new job. And we need to talk to him about that because we need to know what's going on. Are there any other happy bucks out there?
Bob, I have a confession about birthday. But before I do that, I'd like to talk about continuity and the four-way test. Now, Bob, when you were talking with John, you were talking the 42, 43-year-old age range, and then your son came on and confessed to being 36 years old. I was wondering how that fits with the four-way test, and if you wanted to talk anything about that prodigal son legacy.
You know, I can't hear a word you're saying. You can't find the sergeant at arms. I keep telling you that. You can't do it.
I'm really to that stage where I can't confess either, but I'll give $57 to my Paul Harris.
Oh yeah. You send me out this little roster thing with everybody's birthday on it, but I don't see yours.
I didn't do that.
Oh, that was Keith that did that, wasn't it? Maybe we should find.
Yeah,
Keith.
I sent it to you, Bob.
Thank you very much, Keith. You did a good job. Any other happy bucks? Tina, are you still there? Tiana? Is Tiana there? No, she's off doing something else again. Okay. Probably cleaning windows or something. Oh, there you are. I was just checking. Sorry.
I'm here. Don't worry.
Okay, well, it's time to turn it back over to Freddie, and thank you very much, Rotarians, for your generosity.
All
See you
right,
next week.
Thank you, Bob. Nicely done, as always. All right, program time. So today I'm going to turn it over to Richard to introduce our speaker.
Perfect. Thanks, Freddie. Yeah, today we've got Eva Gonzales-Munoz from Centro de Ayuda. And so we're going to hear a little bit about what they do and how they've been in the community and maybe some things you didn't know. So again, Centro de Ayuda is a nonprofit organization serving Lincoln County for the last 25 plus years. They have specialized training to better conduct and connect with the Spanish-speaking community. Their primary focus is to serve as a center for the Cultural Awareness and Community Resource Center. Their services include interpreting, translating, and helping out fill out job applications, rental agreements, other legal forms, helping with medical, helping interpret and translate. Their services are free to their Latino community members, and just from what I've heard and knowing about them and doing a little research, getting them coordinated for this event is a great community partner. So I'll leave it and turn it over to Eva. So go ahead, Eva, and tell us all that we should know about Centro de Ayuda.
All right, well, thank you for the introduction. My name is Deborah Gonzales-Munoz, and I am with Centro de Ayuda, but my guest, if you want to call it that, I have Deborah Jones, who she is the board president of Centro de Ayuda. So I'm actually going to have her speak, and then, any questions and stuff, then I'll interfere as well.
Good afternoon. I see some very familiar faces in this group, not only community partners, I see some donors. I see some former education people of my daughter. So thank you for welcoming us to your group for a small presentation. Centro de Ayuda got started about 27 years ago. We have provided over the years a variety of programs. At one point before the community college was established, we taught English as a second language. But since those times, and more recently, I would say in the last year, having been COVID affected, as many of you have been, we have really had to up our services to very comprehensive services. We mainly work with the Hispanic community, those in particular who have language barriers. Some of them may in fact work for your organizations and may not feel comfortable conducting business in English, but want to really have it reassured to them that the transactions that they're entering into or their understanding about a resource is clearer to them when it's translated or interpreted into their native language. So we provide that service free. They bring us your letters. We help them with employment applications, landlord applications, all kinds of things like that. There's really nothing we don't try to facilitate. We partner with agencies in Portland and around the state. So if we don't have an expert in our own arsenal of employees, we refer them to those experts in the state that make themselves available to us. So that includes people who are concerned about immigration, people who are concerned about driver's license for all of those kinds of things. So we have been, during this COVID season, providing very comprehensive services 7 days a week to people who are COVID affected. We exist primarily from grants and contributions from local community members. And we serve only Lincoln County. We did do a project recently that was in partnership with a statewide agency. There were 20 Latino organizations across the state who helped to distribute emergency dollars to the Latino communities. And so because there were no Latino communities south on the coast, we actually covered clear to the California border for those residents. So that was quite an adventure. Learned a lot about what's going on in Southern Oregon coastal communities as a result of that. But for the most part, that is our audience, and those are the services we provide. We offer other services to the community at large. So for those of you who have businesses, we also offer interpreting for businesses who are dealing with clients. So for example, a landlord might call us and say they need to have a document translated or interpreted to one of their residents. We also provide that service, but that service is with a fee. So we have a fee for service component to our work, but we mostly spend, I would say, easily 80 to 85% of our time is spent providing free services directly to the Latino community. Not sure what else you want to know, because we do everything from soup to nuts. If they come in and say, I need you to call and make a doctor's appointment for me, we do that. They come in and say, I need you to help me make a payment online to my insurance company, we help them with that. So there's kind of nothing we aren't available to do. We have staff that's trained in how to get people signed up on the Oregon Health Plan, on how to get connected again, like I said, to immigration lawyers, on how to work with other experts around the state. So we're just a resource to the Hispanic community throughout Lincoln County. And we serve Lincoln City area and Newport area primarily, which is where most of the Latinos in the county reside. So Eva, you have anything to add?
That was great. Just a community, what was it? A health worker as well now. That's another one that we have. Yep.
Can you make sure and tell us your location?
So we're located at 410 Southwest 9th Street in Newport, which is across the street from La Roca Restaurant, for those of you who dine out. We are in actually a daylight basement at St. Stephen's Church, Episcopal Church. They were the creating and founding board of the organization about 28 years ago now. I think we just had an anniversary in November. But that's our location. We're open from 1 until 7, Monday through Friday. And then specific staff, depending on the services that we're offering, those clients connect with those staff throughout the weekends, and they're available, 7 days a week.
I have a question. I have Thompson Sanitary brochures for waste guide, recycling, that are all translated in Spanish. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you guys would like to have there? If you want to give out, or at least an electronic copy?
I can do that. If you send me an electronic copy, I'll even do you a bigger favor. We have about 600 followers on our Facebook page, which is one of the main ways we communicate with people when we're not dealing with their phone calls and their drop-ins. And I can post it on our Facebook page. Recently, I posted some information and had 1,250 hits in 72 hours.
Wow.
So we know people are looking at our site and gathering information. So if you want to send that to me, we do have families that probably are your clients. Yes. Yeah. It's just a good reminder to put it on the Facebook page and say, by the way, did you remember about this?
That would be great. Do you think you could send me or put your email address in the chat?
Yep.
So that I could send that to you?
This might be for Ava. You mentioned a community health worker that you have now. Can you tell me what that person's role is?
Oh. So actually, we have 2 community health workers. And frankly, we've been doing this work. This is our work. So having completed the training and understanding the new governmental title for the work we've been doing for 27 years, it is a coordination of services, and it is working with people on a very, again, comprehensive level to assure that they're accessing and getting to all the services that they need. And so we're conscious of language barriers or systems barriers that might impede them along the way. Specifically with the hospital, we've had a couple of bumps in the road. So for example, when people were, getting COVID testing or something there, I'm not really exactly sure, people would get random bills from the hospital. Well, I happen to know, as do our community health workers, that the hospital is paying for all those expenses for anybody who has COVID, unless you're, I think, into the, the ventilation stage. So if you are referred by your primary doctor, then they do the testing, there is no fee. So we were able to navigate with the hospital billing department to get those bills taken off of the clients, off of their files, for example. So we do a lot of that kind of work.
I've got a comment as well. I utilize Centro de Ayuda interpretation services for my clients at Samaritan House. And Deborah, maybe you could walk people through just how easy it is to get established as an ongoing interpretation client in that fee-for-service dynamic. I find the service to be very professional, timely, and just a step more personable in creating relationship from like an automated interpretation service. I'm very pleased with that relationship. Could you talk to people about how they might establish a contract for interpretation services?
Sure. I think also the other thing that it lends, so I am of Spanish heritage, but I am not a language speaker capable of interpreting for anybody except maybe my brother and sister. So for many people like myself and for people out in the workplace, there are some cultural norms and cultural standards that often when you're working with your clients that you might not be aware of. And some are very subtle cultural differences. Some are very obvious to you. The obvious is you don't speak the language. The subtle is that Latinos are warm and fuzzy people. Human contact is a critical piece to their culture. And when you hold up an iPad as an interpreting tool, that sends the message, you don't care about me, you don't love me. And while they understand that during COVID, that is a piece of the work, it creates a distance that won't ever develop the trust that you need to get down to the meat of the matter of how you can really help them to the best of your organization's ability and their ability. So we do provide personal translators. That translation is done via contracts. And basically we just, charge fee per hour. And then in the case of, like Samaritan House, for example, they have an every week meeting that they attend with the client who wants to have interpreting. So we try to establish it however we can and make it best for the client and make it best for your organization. But that human voice, the bicultural, bilingual person sitting on a Zoom channel or even on a telephone indicates a greater level of caring and knowing that they're within the community. So if the client that is at Samaritan House decides they need to have counseling in another area or needs to have assistance in another area, they can contact Centro de Ayuda and we can provide additional resources for them and to them. So that's one of the advantages of the kind of relationship we have with Samaritan House. So if you have issues or ever have a problem, don't hesitate to call us. During business hours, we have even provided over the telephone. So let's say, for example, at Thompson Sanitary, a client comes in to argue about a bill and you don't have bilingual staff. Thompson would call our office, get our staff member and work a conversation to find out what the client is really asking you to do and where the dispute is. You're able to resolve it in person if that's how, that business is being operated. But that just helps to get you what you need and get the client what they need. And after that conversation, they understand what just happened. And either they have to pay this bill or yes, we're gonna make this adjustment. So that's just an example of how simple the service can be for some organizations and resolve problems rather than to have people constantly arguing that, you can't really get to a resolution.
Any other questions? Sorry about that. My screen froze up on me. Well, thank you for coming in to present to us today, Deborah and Ava. Thanks for the vital service you provide for the community too. A much needed resource. So as a thank you for presenting to us today, we're going to vaccinate 50 children against polio in your names. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come back and join us again.
Yes, thank you. And by the way, just as a little footnote, we are engaged with, and I think there's somebody on here that needs to cover their ears with the University of Oregon. We will be conducting in partnership with them starting in February, COVID testing every 2 weeks and providing those services. So there's a lot going on out in the world to, help with our grander, bigger problems that we're all dealing with, that we step in to assist partners in the community and research projects like with the University of Oregon. So we look forward to that. And thank you so much for that generous donation.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bob.
What was the name of that sanitary service again?
Was it Thompson?
Doll, wasn't it? Doll?
No, I think I heard it the second time. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry.
Bob, you did see she has a Beaver sticker on her pinboard behind her there. So she is a Beaver fan at heart too, I think.
My daughter went to OSU for 3 years, was a 4-H person from 4th grade to out of high school, and was a leader and is a 4-H judge, but graduated in political science from Portland State University and is a lobbyist, Mr. Zagel, for the Oregon Medical Association. Good things came from these roots.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us today. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Graham, Secretary.
Thank you, Freddie. This was a really good meeting. We had 61.4% attendance even before applying makeups. After applying makeups, we're at 72.4%. And I worked those numbers to solve the problem of the 50-50 because I'm not as fancy as Sonia. I don't have the wheel. And so I took 72.4, 7 times 2 times 4 is 56. Count through the 14 entries, $70 in 50-50. And I came back to number 1, which coincidentally is Amy Thompson. Amy Thompson's the proud winner of $35 on the 50-50.
I'd like to donate that to Centro de Ayuda.
And the last thing for me is member incentive is Doris Lamb, and Doris is not here today unless I'm missing something. Back to you.
Yeah, I don't see her on here, so guess we'll have a little more next week. All right, thanks, Jim. How about, do we have a social media award, John?
We do, Freddie. It's the ex-chief of police, Mark Miranda.
All right, congrats, Mark.
Freddie, did I miss us inoculating polio?
We did it, yes. Let's see, so any last minute announcements? Keith?
Yeah, it's not really, well, sort of an announcement. I want to, a happy buck. I'm going to give $50 to Ursula's Paul Harris. I had a recent interchange with Pacific Communities Hospital, and I've been doing this for a couple of years, and my first battery was at Pacific Communities Hospital, and it couldn't have went better. And then I got through the Corvallis Clinic and now up at OHSU. And the last battery of tests, they've got some new technicians, and they called and said, hey, wait a minute, you can do that in your local community. So I said, well, that's great, because not only do we have it in our local community, we have a new hospital. And it would be great to be able to do those tests instead of having to drive up and spend the afternoon at OHSU to do the very same things we could do here. So between the bureaucracy of OHSU and Portland and the bureaucracy of Samaritan and Corvallis, we kind of short circuited a little bit. I told them the hospital's just down the block and I can go talk to the people in the clinic and find out right away, get an appointment, and I'll call you back and tell you what they got and tell you where to send it. So we did that, and I got right into the person and talked to them, got the clinic, got it all arranged. 3 days later, after a weekend, called me in, and I went in, and sure enough, pulled up to do the tests, and there's only one factor in the test, and it's like, well, this isn't going to take long. And I said, well, wait a minute, what about all this other stuff? Well, it's not on the sheet. So we called back, and they just emailed it right back down to the clinician, and we went through and did the battery of tests. So I'd just like to let you know that the bureaucracies, in spite of what they try to do with us over in the Valley and try and keep us from being friendly folks here in the community, my experience just couldn't have been more positive every time I've ever had something to do with our local community and the hospital and the people that staff the local hospital. So I just kudos to Ursula and the whole folks at Pacific Community Hospital. I really think they do an outstanding job here.
All right. Anybody else have a last minute? Diane?
Our vocational lunch will be next Wednesday, and Mark Miranda will be our presenter for that lunch. And the restaurant that he is sponsoring is Cafe Stephanie.
All right. Thanks for sharing that, Diane. That ought to be another good one.
Hey, Diane, can I butt in here for just a second? Can you share, did you need to sign up for the vocational lunches to be participating in that, or is it open?
Well, it's open, and if you want to be included, I'm happy to include you. People did sign up for it, but we're always happy to have more. So we'd like to include you if you'd like to come.
Please add me. I'd like to participate in that.
Great.
Yeah, I'd encourage anyone that could make it to join us for these vocational groups. They are a lot of fun, and we support our local restaurants, so it's a win-win.
And Diane, I think I said that I wanted you to add me as well.
Okay, thanks for reminding me, Amy. I'll get the emails out to you right away.
All right, thanks, Diane. So next week's meeting is an update on the Port of Newport with Paula Miranda. That should be another good one. And with that, would someone like to take us out with the 5-way test? Can't see my screen, so I'll go ahead and take us through it. The 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? 4th, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And 5th, is it fun? All right, well, good to see everyone on here, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a great week.